Hi and welcome back to my channel. I am Katie. I am a Boston-based yarn dyer and knitter, and I run the yarn dyeing company Closet Yarn Company. My cat Moxie is here with us today. I am finally, officially, really giving you my tattoo tour. I have been getting tattooed for 11 years. I'm 30. I got my first tattoo when I was 19, and I had to count yesterday to confirm, but I have 34 tattoos as of today, July 30th. I do plan on getting more. I already have an appointment for one that I will be getting on my honeymoon in a few weeks. But I really love getting tattooed. I started with some smaller tattoos. Now I get bigger tattoos. I've gotten tattoos in multiple countries. I've gotten tattoos all over the state of Massachusetts. I've gotten tattoos with friends. I've gotten tattoos with situationships. I've gotten tattoos from people that I met on dating apps. I have quite a long history with the art form, and it's so great. I really love being able to decorate my body and add to it in certain ways. And I'm not really a piercing girly. I have a couple of piercings, like obviously I have my nose pierced, but I really am a tattoo girly. I have a lot of tattoos that really mean something to me and are very like significant, and then I have some tattoos that I got because they're dumb and I just wanted a tattoo, and I think that that's okay. I'm going to sit here, we're going to talk through all my tattoos. I'm also going to go through and answer some questions that people have asked me about my tattoos, to just give a little bit of a rundown. I was thinking of like the best way to do this because I have the one camera and so many tattoos. I think I'm gonna go by part of my body. You won't have to see how I struggle to get different camera angles. That will be for me and me only. And since I have 34 of them, I will be trying to talk pretty quickly about them. But feel free to ask me further questions in the comments because I do love talking about my tattoos. They're really fun. They're obviously a part of me. They're a big part of me, and I'm excited to finally do this because I have been wanting to do this like since I started YouTube, which was over a year ago. So hello. Moxie said that actually this video is about her. I don't know if the camera will pick up her purring, but she's being very nice and sweet. Aren't you? I don't have a tattoo for my current cats, for Sage and Moxie. They're siblings. We got them at the same time. Bye. But I have an idea in my head cooking. I decided not to do my tattoos chronologically. Because I have forgotten after the first couple which ones came next. And then also because and I'll talk about this more because somebody asked me this question, but the first two tattoos I ever got have both been covered up for different but similar reasons. So I don't have those anymore. I don't count them in my list of 34 tattoos. I think we're gonna start with my left arm. And yes, I still have my wrist brace on. My thumb has been hurting a bit more today. Whatever. So we're gonna start top to bottom. This tattoo is actually one of my most meaningful. My grandparents' names were Tom and Ada, and their license plate, which I actually have somewhere, was Tomada, Tomada, and that was how they would pronounce tomato. So I have this piece of these heirloom tomatoes. And then my Nana herself was a very avid gardener. So this tattoo is her. This ladybug is her. I'm also going to put the artist names or shops in as often as I can remember them. There's a couple that I don't know. So this tattoo is by Haley Savage. This is the first of many Haley Savage tattoos that you will see on my body. I counted, I think I have 9. She has her own shop now in Weymouth, Massachusetts, and I love her, and I've been getting tattooed by her since she was an apprentice. Moving inward to my arm, here we have Gerald the Ghost. This is a little flash piece that I got at Hidden Vibes Tattoo in Cambridge, Massachusetts, by Nathan. Look, he's a ghost and he's going trick-or-treating. He's so cute. I named him Gerald. That was my own thing. There's his little shadow. And I'm obsessed with him. I love him. I do have a number of just random silly flash tattoos that I got because I wanted to get a flash tattoo. So Gerald is one of those. This tattoo is also actually it's not flash, but it was spontaneous. This tattoo is a matching one that I have with a friend. And it's the Three of Cups, which is the tarot card that symbolizes female friendship. So we got these together. Hers doesn't have any color in it, but mine has red for wine in it. And I got this, I know I got it near Boston University. Couldn't tell you any more than that. Don't know the name of the shop or the name of the artist. Continuing to move inward, I have this rose, this hand holding a rose. I got this from, oh my god, what is her name? Her Instagram is Sad Girl Tattoos. And I got this when she was still tattooing a little bit of color, obviously. But she no longer tattoos in color. It's so detailed and lovely. And I got this in 2017 and it still looks really incredible. The lining is so faint, but so detailed, so lovely. And I got this tattoo to also symbolize like lifting up other women. This one I got back in 2019 as well, just as a little like random walk-in. And I got this in Boston Tattoo Company in Medford, Massachusetts, I think. And I got this at a time when some decision had come out that was putting abortion rights at risk. So I got this, and I love when people ask me what this means, and I say it's for abortion rights, and I get to figure out on their face how that makes them feel. This one is another tattoo by the same artist that did this rose, whose name is on the screen for sure. It's just a little bee with some little flowers on it. There's some lavender and some other flowers. It has very subtle coloring in it. Like these are a little bit purple. The bee is so lovely. Look at his little wings. There was one time that I was babysitting and this was relatively fresh and the little boy that I was babysitting was like, "You have a bug on your arm," and tried to smack it. That was really cool. That's the top half of my left arm. I love my left arm. I love all my tattoos on here. Moving down, there's 3. This is another Haley Savage tattoo. So that is 2 Haley Savage tattoos. This was a cover-up of another tattoo, which you can't see under here, but it was a tattoo of a constellation. And it was just taking up really good real estate on my arm, and it was like this big. So I decided to get this. So it's an umbrella in a thunderstorm, and then underneath it says, "It's chaos, be kind," which is a quote from, Michelle McNamara, who is the woman who wrote the book I'll Be Gone in the Dark about the Golden State Killer, the serial killer, and her investigation actually posthumously helped catch him via DNA evidence. And this is a quote from hers in the book, and I just think it's really lovely. I really love this tattoo. Moving over here real quick, this is actually my very first Haley Savage tattoo. So this was in 2018 or 2019 when she was still an apprentice. It is a beach rose, which are my favorite flower. They smell so delicious. They remind me of Maine and the beach in summer, and I love them. And it has held up really, really well considering I don't always put sunscreen on. So I'm obsessed with this tattoo. I think it's gorgeous. I think it fits really well on my arm. The last tattoo I have on this arm is one of my more recent ones. I got this tattoo in Ireland this past spring, in March. I went with my husband. He was on a work trip and I got to hang out in Galway. And I got this from Arthur Garcia at Galway Tattoos. I did make an appointment for this, but they also do walk-ins. It's like a little love letter to gossip, was my intention. And then it turns out that when I made the appointment, we hadn't discussed which colors I wanted. And the artist, Arthur, chose the colors that are in the Claws Out Yarn logo. This like teal color and yellow and red. And it's perfect. He free-handed the leaves so that they would fit within the gaps with my other tattoos. And it's just like the perfect piece to go right here on my arm. And I'm really, really obsessed with it. And it made me look really cool to all the other people on the work trip. And those are all my left arm tattoos. I guess then we should probably go to my right arm. I think that makes the most sense. First and foremost, we have to talk about my boy Vito. This is my cat. He passed away in 2024. He is what Claws Out Yarn Company is named after because he would wake me up for breakfast by putting his claws like right on my face. In a loving way, but it felt like it was going to be sinister if I didn't actually get up and feed him. So I got this tattoo actually right after I got him, and I got this from Cara Monroe in Portland. I think she's at Brass and Briar Tattoo. So it says Mama's Boy here. It has an orange because he is named after Vito Corleone in The Godfather, and oranges are significant in the Godfather movie. And it's beautiful. It's got these like lovely leaves. And then after he passed away, we added the little sparkles on both sides and his little halo. But I love this tattoo. She put like white in his forehead. It looks just like him. She captured his neck rolls really well. I love this tattoo, and I love that he's just like right here. He's in a lot of my wedding photos. Yeah, so that's my cat Vito. So I technically got this tattoo twice because we added onto it, and that was a really emotional appointment. I cried, my husband cried, the tattoo artist cried. She does really lovely pet portraits, so if you have a pet you want a portrait of, highly recommend. Here we have a Friday the 13th tattoo that I got. It says $13 on this little tag, but it's kind of faded a little. This is from, I got this in Salem with one of my friends who was one of my bridesmaids. I was her maid of honor. Her son is my godson. And so she has a matching one that isn't exactly this design, but it's the same artist, and it's also little crystals. I need to add something else to this part of my body. I really like how the leaves in this go with the leaves here. Then, moving down my arm, we have another Haley Savage tattoo that I got in 2019. So I had both of these tattoos of hers. This is also during her time as an apprentice. It's a big lilac. It's my whole forearm basically, and I love her. It's so detailed and gorgeous. Every time that I come see her for a new one, she's like, show me that tattoo again. And despite my best efforts at trying to harm this tattoo, I did not treat this one well when it was healing, but it has rewarded me and it still looks really nice. Then I have this it's a little lantern that I got with a friend when they were living in DC, now living back in Massachusetts, thank God. But I went to DC and visited them, and we got little tattoos. So hers is bigger and different. I think it was their first tattoo, and then this was, I was like, well, I want one too. So it doesn't mean anything, I just got it. Then I have two here. First I have this little bow and arrow, which I got from Kat O'Hare. I got this when she was still at Hidden Vibes in Cambridge, but now she has a tattoo shop of her own in Hull, Massachusetts. And then this is Lester the Lobster. I got this tattoo also from Nathan at Hidden Vibes, who's the same person that did Gerald. It's stunning. It's so blue. He's my blue lobster, and I really, really love him. He's very detailed, very gorgeous. This one took a while because the blue was not, the ink wasn't behaving and wasn't going in my skin nicely, but we figured it out. That's Lester. I do name all of my like anthropomorphic or like creature tattoos. Like if there's a face on there, it has a name because I think that's fun. Those are all of my arm tattoos. It's a lot. It's a lot of arm tattoos. I have one tattoo on each of my shoulders, so I'm going to show you those now, and then we can move on to other parts of my body. So first, on this shoulder is a garlic clove. Why? I wanted it. This is from Sarah Rose Ink. I got this at Pearl Street Tattoo in Somerville. I have a couple others from her, and I just really like it. It fits really well. I was thinking of maybe doing like an herb garden on my back at some point. And then on this shoulder is one of my more recent tattoos. It's a Haley Savage, if you can believe it. It's a big old peony. And I got this. This is another cover-up. So this was a cover-up of my very first tattoo ever, because I got it for a boy. Stupid. And it was a dumb tattoo. I got it for a boy when I was 19 because he had gotten a tattoo and I wanted to get one so that we were equally as cool. It was stupid. It was like culturally appropriative. It was like a Buddhist symbol. Lots of white girls have this tattoo. I didn't have a good experience getting my first tattoo. The guy was like, I've done so many of these on white girls. He was a white man, first of all, so shut up. It was just like not an excellent experience. And also, again, like this other one that I got covered up, it was taking up some pretty good real estate. And I knew as soon as we got engaged that I wanted to cover this up because I did not want that tattoo in any of my wedding photos. It was like the last tie that I had to that relationship, which was like a high school into college relationship that was just shitty because the guy sucked. And he like stunted my emotional growth, you know? And so I didn't want a reminder of that on me. So we covered it up in April of this year, and my shoulder looks fantastic in all of my wedding photos, as you might imagine. All that is to say that if you are thinking about getting a tattoo or thinking about getting a cover-up, you should do it. Because you will feel so much better when you don't have a bad tattoo on your body. It wasn't done badly. Neither of the tattoos that I've covered up were done badly. They were just not right for me anymore. And it's like, okay that I got them covered. And that is a very good cover-up because the thing that I covered was like, it was all black. And I don't even know where it was in there anymore. Now we're going to move on to my rib tattoos. I have 2 of those, 1 on each side. And then it's the legs. Here is one of my rib tattoos. It is seaweed. This one is also by Sarah Rose, who did my garlic tattoo. It's cool. It goes all the way up in certain situations, depending on the bra I'm wearing. You can like see the top of this under my arm. And I just really like it. She kind of customized it to fit around my ribs. So big fan of that. I got that, I don't know, 2019 maybe. And then my other rib tattoo is more significant. It's this. I forget how big it is. Oh my god, hang on. I always forget how big this tattoo is. This is my 3rd tattoo ever. I got 2 little tattoos, and I got this one. And I got this one when I was living abroad in Spain. I was 20. I got this 10 years ago. Still looks great. This is a flower that grows on the orange trees in Sevilla in Spain where I was. And then the rest of it is whatever. I got this at, I don't remember the artist's name anymore, but I got this at Synesthesia Tattoo in Sevilla in Spain in May 2016. Oh my god, this tattoo is so old. This is my oldest existing tattoo because those first 2 other tattoos have both been covered. And honestly, it looks amazing. It's huge, and it was certainly a choice. We're gonna do legs. I'm zooming through these, I feel like. I say that and then this video is still gonna be like an hour and a half long. She took the photos of this magnolia from their photos of her own tree in her yard, which I think is so lovely. Then I have another Hayley Savage. This one, which is a lupin, which I got in honor of the state of Maine, my favorite place. It's also my husband's mom's favorite flower, and I think that she's really, really lovely. It's a little bit decorative. Big fan of her. Okay, now we have these blueberries that are hand poked. This is my only hand poke tattoo. I got this from, I want to say his name is Owen. I could be wrong. I'll put it on the screen at Boston Tattoo Company in Somerville. Here I have the Jaws shark crushing a can of Narragansett beer from some Jaws Flash. And this is by Alicia Thomas. I got this when she was still in Medford, I think, but now she's in Rhode Island. I have this message in a bottle tattoo, which I got from Gabby at Said and Done Tattoo in JP. I have to go back there because they're like my local tattoo shop. And then I have this little flower, which I think you can see, which is also by Nathan of Gerald the Ghost fame. It's a hellebore. It's poisonous. So this is kind of like my danger leg is what I've called it. And then finally on this leg, I have my Kraken tattoo, which this angle is not doing her justice, so I'll put a picture up on the screen. This is my Kraken tattoo. I got this from another guy named Nathan. I think he goes by Nate. And I got it when he was tattooing in Lynn. He's not there anymore. This took 10 hours, but it's really beautiful. I really, really, really love her. Now I'll move on to the right leg. For my right leg, we will start here. I don't have any upper thigh tattoos on this leg. This is also Flash from Alicia Thomas, who did the shark. And this is Elvish from Lord of the Rings, and it says, "Live, laugh, love." It's the nerdiest, dumbest thing I have. Okay, thank you. This tattoo is also by Kat O'Hare, who did the bow and arrow here. This is an interpretation of Monhegan Island Lighthouse, which is where we were just in Maine. It's artistic representation because the lighthouse is actually way up on top of a hill and not close to the coast, but I really wanted this type of coastline. So it's Monhegan Lighthouse if it was next to the coast. Moving to the rest of my leg. Here, we have another Haley Savage tattoo. This is a moth. It was Valentine's Day Flash, so it's got hearts all over it. I got this like 2 years ago. I think she's really gorgeous. This one is also a Haley Savage. It is a Sacred Heart, heart on fire. I got this in 2021, I think. Nope, I got it in 2020. It's awesome. It hurt. It's black work, but it's really cool and really beautiful. Then I have this little tattoo that is a locket that says "Not Yours." I got this from a guy that I matched with on Tinder in Quincy, and he did this tattoo in his basement apartment. Never got infected. It's fine. And then this tattoo, my last one, I think, that I'm showing you, is Godzilla wearing a hand-knit sweater. This is also by Alicia Thomas, and when I was getting this, which took a while, it was really swollen and sore, but when I got this, everybody in the tattoo shop was like, "Oh my god, that's the coolest idea." If you've ever gotten a tattoo, you know that that is the highest praise you can receive from anybody. Those are all of my tattoos. Thank you for coming with me on that crazy journey. Now that I have shown you all of my tattoos, all 34 of them, we can go through some questions that people have asked me. I am going to slowly knit on my simultaneous sweater. I'm gonna do that while we talk through these questions. Someone asked me, what's your process for finding a new artist, or do you just go to the same ones? Obviously, I have a few that I've gotten multiple tattoos from, Haley being number one. I think she's my absolute go-to. If I'm looking for a new artist, I am a big fan of like going to a shop's website or their Instagram and just finding whichever artist there looks like the right vibe for me. That is what I did for the tattoo that I have scheduled for when we're in Alaska on our honeymoon. I looked up tattoo shops in Anchorage, Alaska, and then looked through a couple and like worked on finding an artist that matched the vibe of what I wanted. So, and I'll talk about that tattoo in whatever video I post, the first video I post when we're back. So far, I don't think I've really had a bad experience with any artists. Obviously, the ones that I keep going back to are my favorites. So Haley, and I would say Alicia Thomas is also one of my favorites. And they're my favorite artists not only because I really like their work, they're also quite speedy, which is nice, especially if you're getting something that's bigger. But they're also just really fun to talk and hang out to. Like the last time I got a tattoo with Haley, we spent like half an hour talking about our favorite like old Disney movies. I really like that I've been able to build up a relationship with some of these artists. It makes me feel very special. It makes me feel like the coolest girl in school. Someone asked, most and least painful and styles that held up better or worse over time. I think most of my tattoos now are kind of leaning more like traditional style. Like this one is very traditional style, which means that it has thicker outline, like a really dark, like black outline, like heavy color. And those will obviously like last the best and the most because their color is so packed in. It's applied like heavily, which does mean that it hurts. Actually, hold on. When people ask me which tattoo hurt the most, they all hurt, okay? They all hurt. Period. You're not going to get a tattoo that doesn't hurt. The ones that have hurt the least for me, and it really depends on the artist, it doesn't really depend so much on the style. The ones that have hurt the least for me, like the Sacred Heart one, the big black one on my leg, honestly felt fine. But that's because even though it's like in your muscle, it's on your calf, even though it's all that black work shading, which just means that she's putting in black everywhere. But then the other tattoo on my other calf, the Kraken one, that one hurt like crazy, but that one took 10 hours total. I took 2 5-hour sessions. It was a lot of work, and he was slower, and it's a different style. That one was more traditional style, so the color was really being packed in. So that one hurt me more. It really depends, man. Every body is different with how tattoos hurt. It also depends on if you're going over bone or not. Actually, I would say that the blueberries, the hand-poked blueberries that I have, that one hurt a lot. The hand poking hurt me more than I was prepared for it to, which is very interesting. I wasn't expecting that. That's my only hand-poked tattoo for a reason. I think it's beautiful. I really like the style, but it really, really hurt. So I haven't gone back for another one. Someone said, I've been on the fence for years about one. How do you decide location/design? Do you have any tips? All right, here's the thing. For my first tattoo, which was, again, it was on my shoulder here, I think I got it on my shoulder because I could cover it up. I didn't really think about like not being able to see it though. So you have to think about what's important to you about a tattoo. Do you want to be able to see it all the time? Then I would recommend getting it like on your arm. If you need it to be covered up or able to be covered up, like if you have some circumstance in your life where people aren't gonna want to see your tattoo, or if you have a profession where you can't show tattoos, then maybe you want it on your upper arm or like on your thigh or something where you can, most of your clothes will cover it. But honestly, I am a big fan of saying just go for it. I have been responsible for at least 5 people's first tattoos. Responsible for as in like I either was there or I encouraged them or I gave them tips. Oh, 6 actually. Gave them tips on how to like book an appointment and find an artist, and I am an enabler. I will not apologize for that. But I think if you want one, I say go for it. Don't get something massive. Maybe get something like maximum 3 inches, which like might look big, but it's really not. And if you want to get it lasered off or covered up in 5 years, that's fine. That's okay. That doesn't matter. I really love getting tattoos, and I think they're just really a great form of self-expression. I don't think that your first tattoo has to be super significant. It can be if you want it to be. It can also just be like a pretty flower. Oh, I'm so sorry. 7 people's first tattoos. I keep thinking of more. My cousin also got a first tattoo because of me. Yeah, it can be a pretty flower or like a butterfly, and you can just like it. It doesn't have to mean like that butterfly is my grandmother. She says as she has a tattoo of her grandmother, but that was not my first tattoo. Which one is your favorite? Which one hurt the most? Which one has the best story behind it? Okay, my favorite tattoo usually ends up being whichever was my most recent. But honestly, I think, which is that magnolia. But I think right now my favorite is this one, is my Gossip Love Letter one that I got in Ireland. It's just, it fits in my arm so well. When I see pictures of it, I'm like, ooh, like that's so exciting that that's on my body. And it was a really great experience. So like getting a tattoo in a foreign country sounds like a scary thing, and now I've done it twice. No, it was great. Everybody in the shop was nice and funny, and it was a fast process. And then like I was in Ireland, it was like a beautiful day. I think which one hurt the most? It is the Kraken one, just because it took so damn long. Whenever I tell another tattoo artist that tattoo took 10 hours, they're like, what are you talking about? They're like, that is a 3-hour tattoo. I'm like, I know that. It's never gonna go anywhere because the ink is so packed into my body, but it hurt so much because I was just exhausted. Because after a while, your body is you're in pain, and it's just really tiring because your body's like full of, you know, adrenaline and what, like, it's just a lot of stress and exhaustion on your body. So that one really was like, oh God. I mean, I love it. It's a really sick tattoo. I think it makes me look so cool. But oof, yeah, it was really, really painful. The one on my ribs here, the big one I got in Spain, was also pretty painful, but that's just because it was right on my ribs and it was only my third tattoo and I didn't know what to expect. But it didn't take that long. Rib ones do hurt, but they don't hurt as bad as the internet would make you think that they hurt. And which one is the best story? I think they all have pretty good stories. I would say this one, my shoulder one, because of that cover up. It just feels so good to me that that other tattoo doesn't exist on my body anymore. And then, oh, those are all the questions. Because somebody asked, have you had any cover-ups done? And I've kind of covered that. I've covered that. Actually, first of all, okay, a couple tips. When you are getting a tattoo, any tattoo, it doesn't matter if it's your first, if there's something that you don't like about it, like when they put the stencil on you to see how it would look, you need to tell your artist that. And be like, can we move this? Can we change this? Can this go this way? Like my Godzilla tattoo, which I'll put up here again. When I first got this tattoo, like when she was first putting the stencil on me, she had the Godzilla tail like going down, like down and out to the side. And I was just like, that gets in the way of other tattoos. It makes this tattoo like fit weird in with other stuff on my leg. Can we move that? And so she took a little time and redrew it and drew it now so that the tail is going like up behind the Godzilla. And now it fits in perfectly with everything on my leg. This one, the one I keep talking about, the envelope, the love letter, I said that he freehanded the leaves for me, but when I got there, he had drawn out the whole thing. And we were putting it on my arm with the stencil and it just wasn't fitting. It wasn't fitting in the other gaps I had. It wasn't working. So then he redid the stencil, took all the leaves off of it, put that stencil of just the envelope on my arm, and then redrew the leaves around it. So, like, you have to be chill with asking for what you want. If you have a bad experience getting a tattoo, like the guy when I got my very first tattoo that was like, I've done so many of these. Which, when you're 19 and it's your first tattoo, you want to feel special, okay? Even though my idea was stupid. You don't have to go back to that person. You can leave, also, if you want. If you're like, actually, I'm getting really bad vibes here, you can leave. I did not leave my Kraken tattoo appointment, even though the shop had really bad vibes. The shop shut down like 3 months after I was there. Another thing that I will tell you, because a lot of people when they get their first tattoos, they want it to be really small. Not every tattoo can be very small. If a tattoo is too small, it will blow out, or it'll fade and just look like a little squiggly mess as your skin changes, as it gets sun exposure, as, you know, all that stuff. When the artist tells you that it can't go any smaller, you have to listen to them. I mean, even me, like when I was getting that Magnolia tattoo, which is my 34th tattoo, I was like, can we make it a little smaller? And she was like, no, it won't work. It doesn't fit like that. And I was like, okay, you're so right. And she's right. And I actually really love the way that it looks. It wouldn't have worked if it was smaller because there's too much detail. She was like, this will just get blown out. You won't be able to see these parts of the tattoo that are like important. I was like, okay, you're right. That's just, I'm telling you, as your big tattoo sister, not every tattoo can be as small as you want it to be. And that's okay. You, like, some things you do have to listen to the artist because it's their job, because they want their art to look as best on your body as possible, right? So if you're like, I want this really detailed flower, but I only want it this big, they're gonna be like, no. Because human skin is not the same as paper. It doesn't work that way. It will change, it'll grow, it'll shift. And then I'll also remind you to sunscreen your tattoos. So far, none of my tattoos have faded that much in a bad way. Obviously some have like shifted with my body, but like I do sunscreen them though. If I'm ever outside in a place where there's sun, I am sunscreening my tattoos. Any direct sun. I want to be proud to be like, hey, this tattoo is by this person. I want to be able to say that and like be like, oh, but it got faded by the sun. Like, no, that's your fault. Put sunscreen on. You should be doing that anyway. But if you have tattoos, they will age faster and fade and look worse if you don't protect your skin, which honestly is just what happens to your skin when it gets sun exposure. It's just visible with the tattoos. I think that's everything I have to say about my tattoos. I am really happy that I have all of them. I think they're really cool. I think they're like the coolest thing about me. All my ink. And I will say we're in like a really nice time for tattoos right now. There are so many cool like queer tattoo artists, female tattoo artists. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to go to a man. I've been to very few men for my tattoos, and I keep going back to women because they're better. There's also like the woman who did the lighthouse tattoo and this my bow and arrow tattoo on my arm. She's also a therapist, and she like specializes in and focuses on like trauma-informed tattooing and healing work, which is so awesome. All the tattoo shops that I go to now are like cute and interesting and fun, and it's not scary. It's really not scary. There's like, I don't think that your tattoo experience has to be bad or weird or whatever for it to count as a tattoo. Which was the mentality, I'd say maybe like 20 years ago. People were like, your tattoo needs to hurt and you can't use numbing cream and it needs to be like, everybody needs to smell like cigarettes. Bad vibes. No, tattooing it's more gentle and more beautiful now, I think. And I am really happy to be part of it. And I'm gonna keep getting them. I've got a lot more space on my legs, on my back, on my chest. I want to get like something here at some point. I have lots of ideas, plans. I also really want to get a Jimothy tattoo. Jimothy, the little short spined raccoon. Who I love him very much. So a friend and I might go get tattoos of him. And that's what I mean, like, get a tattoo because it's silly, just because you want it. I have a ghost who's trick-or-treating on my arm. No offense, Gerald, but that's not like emotionally significant for me. He's just a cute guy. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that this was fun. All of my links are down below. I have a Ko-Fi where you can support me for $5 a month. Subscribers on there get to see things before other people do. My yarn shop is linked there, as well as my Instagram, my Discord channel, all that stuff. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!